Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of what if Naruto was a genius with a stealing bloodline ability. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, I post a brand new series over on Anime King of what if Naruto was a Uchiha with the Ghost Speed release. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. Brand new amazing series, yeah. And also remember, if you're new, yes, I need 4 channels which I post what if on every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, check it out. And yeah, enjoy. Links will be down in the description. And also, I post a brand new movie over on Anime Prince of what if godlike Naruto went to the high school DxD world to conquer it. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy. So without further ado, or wasting any more time with you, so we jump right into this. Begin now guys. So the last spot we left off, Naruto was in the hospital because of injuries that he had suffered from being attacked severely. Yes, this attack was rather brutal. Naruto had set up traps around his apartment and several civilians, 8 to be exact, had died. The other 4 Naruto had killed them in self-defense, and now he was in hospital. That is when Kabuto Yakuji, servant of Orochimaru, saw his opportunity as he decided to help Naruto out, but maybe reap the rewards in the future. So with that, he told Naruto that what he did was not a crime, as the first Hokage had made the law for civilians to be able to protect themselves, and right now Naruto was not in the academy, and he was only protecting himself. Hearing that, Naruto was happy, as Kabuto twisted Naruto's mind and warped him towards his side, telling him that what if the people at the academy was twisting his grades as well, and he should not shout that he was going to be the Hokage after all. If they had already shown that they hate him, why would they let him be the Hokage? They would try anything to stop him. Naruto was angered to hear that, but he believed Kabuto, as his argument was sound. But Naruto was not wrong, and neither was Kabuto. Kabuto said there was a way that he could help him, but he would have to keep it from the Hokage, as he warped Naruto's mind over to his side, as Naruto accepted. Years passed, as Naruto stood behind Kabuto, asking him about information on none other than Kakashi. Recently, Naruto had made this change, as he had been sending a clone to the academy the entire time. Finally, now he had revealed himself, and everyone was shocked by his change, as they saw his new outfit, and not to mention he seemed to have grown. However, Naruto was, yes, grown because of his natural height. The clone that he was sending there the entire time did not, and Naruto kept it to look weak and nerdy, so yeah, that paid off well, as everyone was shocked by that. Over the years, a lot of discoveries had been made. One with Naruto discovering the 90th fox rather early, the next one being Kabuto finding out about the Uzumaki clan, thus believing that Naruto could help them in the future with the Edo Tensei jutsu that him and his master was working on. Thus he told Naruto everything, further cementing Naruto's hate for this village and the Hokage, as Naruto had been out of this village a lot in the past couple of years, the things that he has done, and how strong he has gotten. As Naruto got the information and arrived the next morning, seeing Sakura and Sasuke, as both of them were, well, there early. Sakura went on with her little show as Naruto chose to ignore her. Kakashi arrived not too long after, as he chastised Naruto for arriving late, disobeying a direct order, as Naruto told him that he was here the entire time. Naruto was able to play it sound and cool, as the others were shocked by that display, unable to understand how Naruto had gotten this smart. Kakashi decided to let that one slide as they decided to go along with the test. Naruto warned him that he would regret what he said, as Kakashi told him to use any sort of manipulation or attack to get to him and get the bells. Thus, Naruto transformed into Ren Nohara, Kakashi's old teammate. Kakashi was taken aback as he got angry, as he was gonna punish Naruto for disrespecting fallen comrades, when hands burst on the ground and grabbed him. as an explosion followed, causing Kakashi to be left in a pitiful state. Underestimating Naruto got him really badly messed up as Obito came out, as Naruto had used the members against Kakashi to take him out. He gave Sakura and Sasuke the bell, saying that he would not serve under such a weak jonin. It did not take too long for them to be brought in the office, Naruto that being. The other two sent home. They were told not to go back to the academy as they would wait for further instructions. Hiruzen tried to play the grandfather role on Naruto, but Naruto made it quite well known that he was not the same Naruto. At first, Hiruzen thought he was angry about what happened with the incident with Mizuki. Naruto found out about Nine Tails, unaware that Naruto knew of that for a very long time now. However, Hiruzen soon realized that what he was dealing with was a completely different individual, as Naruto showed him that in the time frame that they were there. As Hiruzen knew, further than pulling Naruto towards the interrogation department, he could not really do much. So with that, he decided to let Naruto go. However, now his eyes were open to the truth. A truth that he was never able to see before, but now he could see it quite clearly. Yes, he could. As Naruto returned home, the fox was, well, cursing at him for revealing so much. They were not friends, as a fox didn't seem to like him all that well, but Naruto told him his plans and his stories because, well, who the fox was going to tell? However, Kurenai UI came over. As Naruto invited her in, something happened recently as Naruto figured that is why she was here, as he invited her inside. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself, and don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, smash that red subscribe button and become part of the making family. So yeah, without further ado, what is we jump right into this. Begin now guys. As Kurenai sat down, Naruto offered her something to drink. Would you prefer water, juice, or sake? Kurenai blinked. You drink sake, she asked. A surprised look on her face, unable to believe that someone so young would already be a drinker. But now that she thought about it, it would explain how he had the guts to pull off some of those insane stunts and pranks that he had done over the years. Oh no, I don't like to not have control over my own functions, said Naruto. Not even for a split second. Though having said that, I've experimented and I realize it does not affect me no matter how much I drink. Because of... You know what, said Naruto. He looked right in her eyes like he was searching for something. It had become a habit of his, after receiving so much animosity and hate from the people of Konoha. However, he found no hate in her eyes except for the widening of her eyes in surprise. It was either because he said he could not get drunk, or either because he mentioned his tenant. That's interesting. Definitely a boom for a shinobi. Though there might be time when you might curse your unholy alcohol resistance, Kurenai said. I doubt it, said Naruto. So, what would it be? Water, sake, juice? Nothing, she said. I will not be staying long. I only come by to invite you to a dinner that I will be hosting tonight. A dinner to celebrate this year's graduation class. Naturally, also to build a bond and a link between the different teams, because there is no doubt in my mind that we will be called upon to participate together in collaborations in the future. Oh, I see. Well, I will be honored to attend your dinner, Kurenai-sensei. But I'm afraid I won't be able to attend. You see, I failed the examination test at Kakashi-sensei. No, you did not, she said, cutting in. Sorry, said Naruto, as he quirked the eyebrow. I just came back from the hospital. Kakashi was barely awake, but Hokage-sama was able to get the verdict out of him before he was sedated. You passed the test. Kakashi was impressed that all 3 of you were willing to sacrifice your opportunity to graduate so that you could all remain together. That was the whole point of the test, to see how far you'd go for your comrades, if you would throw them under the wagon in order to pass that test, or would you risk everything for one another. Congratulations, you're now a genin of Konoha. Though, I must wonder if you're truly a genin, given that you just easily defeated one of our legendary shinobis, Kurenai said as her gaze were intense as she looked at the blonde. Perhaps I did overdo it a bit. Now everyone's gonna be on my ass, Naruto thought to himself. As he spoke up, he let his guard down. Besides, he didn't even use his Sharingan, Naruto said, trying to make an excuse. Indeed, however, a shinobi of his caliber should not have his guard up against a fresh genin note of the academy that much. I saw a replay of the fight in Hokage-sama Crystal Ball all the Jonins did. Needless to say, you have caused quite the stir. Some are calling you a genius, and others. She trailed off, not finishing the sentence, as Naruto finished it for her. Blaming the Kyuubi, he said. Given the fact that she refused to make eye contact with him, he presumed that he was right. They think that you're under the influence of the beast, but I do not think so. I always knew that there was more to you than meets the eye. But that was thanks to... Never mind, she said. You mean thanks to Hinata Dano, said Naruto. Kurenai was shocked. Not only that he knew, but the way he addressed her in a formal and respectful manner. You know about her feelings for you? Kurenai asked, as there was a mixture of anger and suspicion in her tone, like a mother hen, ready to strike against a predator to protect her offspring, or like an older sister protecting a younger sibling. I am aware of her interest in me. I wasn't quite sure why she had those kind of feelings for me, though I was curious to find out why. A holder of the Byakugan and the heiress of the clan tend to spy on me almost 24/7. I never imagined it would turn out like that. But now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense now, he said, as Naruto was now even aware that Hinata was watching them from a safe distance that was in her visual range, as Naruto could sense her. I see. I was under the impression that you knew. I thought that was the reason why you argue so passionately during the graduation ceremony that you'll be switched with Kiba, so you'll be placed on my team. I thought you felt the same way about her, Kurenai said. Her tone was now down and disappointed. I can see that you care deeply for her, and I'm sorry if this offends you, but I don't actually know how I feel about her. I do not know her at all on a personal level, and all this time I thought she was a Hyuga spy or something, so I was actually a bit afraid of her. I wanted to join your team so I can get close to her and find out what exactly was up. Though it is true what I said, that I want to learn from you to make up for my weakness in Genjutsu. It's also true that I have a scent tracking ability to even rival the Inuzaka clan, and I also did not want to be on the same team with Sasuke Uchiha. Oh, I see. Well, thank you for being honest at least. I know that this is none of my business, but is there someone that you're interested in besides Sakura-san? Kurenai asked with a curious tone. You want to determine if Hinata Dano has any rival for my affection, said Naruto, as he quirked the eyebrow. It's just... Kurenai sighed. Alright, yes, she said. Well, I think that you're the only one that she might have to worry about, otherwise no one else has got my interest, said Naruto. It took Kurenai a moment to realize what he just said. What? She stuttered. Oh, don't be surprised, said Naruto. You're a very beautiful woman. And if that was not enough, you are a very powerful Jonin who ooze a perfect combination of elegance and class and sex appeal. You also have this mysterious aura, and you also seem to be, from a distance at least, a very unapproachable and intimidating figure, which make you even more appealing. Hinata Dano, well, I don't know much about her, but she's also very beautiful, and she is royalty with a powerful bloodline, and will likely grow very more beautiful over the coming years and become a better Kunoichi as she gain confidence and master her bloodline. She has a good shot, in all honesty, but the both of you are out of my league, so I don't even know what I'm thinking saying this stuff, said Naruto, as he scratched the back of his head and laughed. Aren't you being a bit too honest, Kurenai said, as she was baffled, and yet strangely endeared by the blonde Uzumaki appraisal of her and his honesty. Kurenai was a blunt, honest person, so she appreciated people that return the favor. Really? I guess I wouldn't really know, said Naruto. I don't exactly have friends or anything like that, and I never had parents to teach me any of that, said Naruto. But thank you, Kurenai sensei, said Naruto. I get the feeling that you taught me something very important today. The innocent, naive mask was on his face at the moment. He had practiced it so well, it slipped on. It's a pleasure, Kurenai said, as she trailed off, just now realizing how sad and lonely Naruto's life must have been, and probably still is. But there are issues of concern, like how exactly did you know I was the Genjutsu mistress of Konoha? No academy student should have information like that, Kurenai asked, as she gazed at him. Ah, Naruto thought to himself. So this is what she was really after. I wonder, did she came by herself or did the Hokage send her? Has the cat and mouse game really begun already? Naruto thought to himself. He was a bit excited. I stole a bingo book from a junk jonin. This is the red light district after all, and I am the great Uzumaki Naruto. I see, said Kurenai as she trailed off, looking at him with suspicion in her eyes. You doubt my greatness, said Naruto, as he put on a smile on his face. Do I doubt that the academic student could outwit a jonin and take their possessions without him or her being the wiser? Yes. But you were never an ordinary academic student, now were you? You are after all the great Naruto Uzumaki, who was able to defy the Hokage monument, right under the nose of a military dictator and all his soldiers and guards. Stole the forbidden scroll of seal, defeated and killed your evil Chunin instructor, and hospitalized your Jonin sensei without sustaining a single injury to yourself. Kurenai said almost word for word what the Hokage told to all the Jonins recently. Well, when you put it like that, as he laughed, rubbing the back of his head. I'll be on my way then. It was nice speaking to you, Naruto-san, and thank you for your hospitality. I look forward to seeing you tonight, she said as she got to leave. It was nice of you to pay me a visit. I hope there will be many more in the future, said Naruto as he walked her towards the door. I am not sure how much my boyfriend, Jonin Asuma Sarutobe, would take to the idea of me regularly visiting another man's apartment. Kurenai said as she turned to meet his eyes once she had stepped out. Oh, surely, a powerful and experienced man like himself, with such a rich heritage and family background, would not be insecure enough to feel threatened by a known name wet behind the ears genin, Naruto said with a predatory smile, causing shivers to run up her spine. Whether those shivers were from fear, disgust, or arousal, or attraction, she could not tell. Be that as it may, it will be inappropriate. I'll see you tonight at dinner, she said, as she proceeded to walk away. As she wanted to get away as soon as possible, not because she did not enjoy talking to him. The fact was she enjoyed his presence far more than she liked. Naruto was blunt, honest with her. He told her exactly how he felt and why he felt that way, and he was not scared of her like most potential suitors, who was only interested in her looks, proven by when he apologized for when he came off as shallow for calling her a princess because of her outer appearance and the fact that he wanted her to teach him genjutsu, showing that he recognized her skill as a kunoichi, something that was rare in the shinobi world, especially amongst male ninjas. The burden that he carried, the tortured soul, how he handled said burden, and the playful and trickster side of him. It was a complete contrast to hers, and those things enhanced his appeal as a suitor. That is why she had to leave. And the problem was he was less than half her age, and not to mention he was now considered to be a flight risk by the higher authorities. There was also the fact that he was Hinata's one true love, and Kurenai was Hinata's bigger sister figure and best friend as well, and she also made it her own goal to help Hinata snag Naruto one day. If Kurenai ever dated Naruto Hinata, self-confidence would shatter, and their bond would be forever shattered. She would be a traitor to not only Hinata, but also Asuma as well. And there was also the stigma that was attached to Naruto Jinchuriki status, which would hover over their relationship and their children if things got that far. Besides, she just thought that Naruto had a childish crush on her because she was fully developed already. He must be used to seeing a lot of these prostitutes and strippers around here, given the location where he lived, and his academy peers were still getting an introduction to puberty. Nevertheless, she would teach him all that she knew about genjutsu if the Hokage extended her mission past the brief thought that she just had with the Uzumaki. She would find that out very soon as she was going towards Hokage's office right now to report her findings. Time skip. Nai-chan, you're back. So, how did it go with Naruto profiling? Sarutobe Asuma asks. The question that his father was supposed to say but he isn't in the mind, because he wanted all of them to hear. There was a few reasons why Kurenai was chosen to do this. 1. Because of his protest to be placed on her team 2 days ago. 2. He had said about his weakness in genjutsu because he wanted to learn, and be on her team because she was the genjutsu mistress. Information he should not know about her, and not to mention she was also a profiler for the torture and interrogation trade on a part-time basis, which is how she and Uncle became friends in the first place. Her unusual but exceptional mastery and specialty in genjutsu made her a master of the mind, and she had an exceptional ability when it came to profiling. This information was also not in the bingo book, seeing that her expertise was part-time, and it was virtually unknown. "It went well," she said to Asuma. "It turns out that you have a rival for my affections." As Asuma, Harrison, and Guy jaw hit the floor here and that, Kakashi mask slipping for a second, so that his jaw could actually hit the floor without ripping through the mask. As Kakashi was lying down, seeing that they were currently in his hospital room. After all, he could not leave the hospital in his condition. "What?" Asuma said. "Did that brat do something perverted?" "No, nothing like that. He thought that Hinata followed him around because she's a Hyuga spy sent after him. He never knew about her affections. When the topic came up, I used the opportunity to find out if Hinata has any rival for his affection, and it turns out that she has." Kurenai explained. "Well, the brat is really consistent, I can give him that one. He wants the highest honor within the village, highest title within the village, and wants to date the most beautiful woman in the village as well." "I would be impressed if I thought that he had a chance," Asuma said, with a cocky smirk. "Well, he believed that Hinata and I are both out of his league, and I have made it clear to him that I am already taken. Nevertheless, his romantic life is not the point of this investigation now, is it?" "On the contrary," Hiruzen said. "All information is relative and important, especially its romantic interests. It would help me sleep better if Naruto-kun was in an intimate relationship with a loyal and trusted kunoichi, as yourself," Hiruzen said, as he stroked his beard. "Hey, watch it, old man," Asuma said. "I am not saying that Kurenai-san should seduce Naruto, or should she marry him and produce an heir. After all, she's already spoken for," Hiruzen said. As he trailed off, the message was clear and loud to all Jonins there. If he wanted that, he would have ordered it, just to keep Naruto loyal to the village, given what was stirring up. As Asuma grit his teeth, furious at his dad, once again reminding him why they did not get along. It would, however, be unwise to make a decision without getting all of the information. "Why don't we start by letting Kurenai-san import upon us what she has profiled from Naruto?" Kakashi suggested, as he skillfully halted the father-son clash that was going to happen at the moment. A clash that he was sure that Asuma would not win, whether it be verbal or physical in nature. As Kurenai continued, as she also wanted the marriage and seduction talk to move away from her as far as possible. He's an eco-maniac, very confident in himself and his abilities. He has many emotional scars that make him vulnerable. However, he's also the type that would use those vulnerabilities to manipulate others and further his ambition. He's not afraid of anything, and that makes him a big risk taker. But he will only take calculated risks and will plan ahead of his enemies without making it seem like he's doing so. In other words, he planned far ahead, but his methods put him at a great risk, partially because he's an adrenaline junkie. But he's confident in his abilities to rise to the occasion. He has a lot of love and compassion, but only those he deems worthy for it. He's likely very cruel and uncompromising for his enemies, but will show mercy if he sees the opportunity to turn foe into ally. But he would use said foe in some degree to further his own ambitions. Kurenai take a pause as she saw the look on their face, fear and shock, as this was a psychiatrical profile that she had got on Naruto, but she was not done yet. His personality overall resonates with a trickster. He loved to have fun, prank people, to confuse people, to toy with people, and to also manipulate people. And at first glance, his actions do not seem to have a clear goal, other than causing chaos and having a good time on his part. But there's always an agenda in almost each and every action taken. He's neither cruel or kind, neither good or evil. He just is. He does, however, show signs of extreme loyalty and deep hatred for betrayals. Friends and allies would see him as a merciful, beloved, and compassionate being. His enemies, however, will see him as evil incarnate, and a harbinger of destruction. "This is the Naruto Uzumaki that I met today," she said. The room was silent for a while as everyone digested that, musing over her words. Hiruzen was the first one to break out of his stupor. "That was a very detailed profile since you only but spent a few moments with him." As he was trying to gather how she was able to put that all together. "You have to use information that you have on the subject in order to make a compelling profile. I had information on Naruto dating back to when he was nothing but a small child. From what everything in the village knows about him. That I got from one of my students, Hinata Hyuga. Interactions with him. Her useful daily spine sessions on him. I also factor in the information that you recently shared with us about his heritage and the events 2 days ago. And since I recently entered his apartment." As Hiruzen was unsure whether to be proud of her or wary of her, to how quick she was able to put that together, as he didn't even want to know what she would profile of him. "I see. But speaking of his heritage, do you think he has become aware of what has been kept away from him?" Hiruzen asks. The Hokage was implying that, well, if someone had made Naruto aware of this, or if he had become aware of this on his own, that would paint the higher-ups and the Hokage in a bad taste. And that might explain why he was acting this way. Unlikely, because he considered I and Hinata are women that are above his league. The son of the 4th Hokage and the Uzumaki princess, who recently defeated a legendary Jonin, would have more self-respect than that. However, it is not impossible that he does know, and just have a different way of judging levels of criteria when it comes to a romantic sense, especially considering a social background. It is unlikely, but it should still take into consideration we are dealing with a dysfunctional trickster after all. Kurenai said, "I apologize for speaking out of term, Hokage-sama, but I have a question that I wish to pose to Kurenai-sensei," Guy said. As the eccentric and goofy Jonin was not that, he was serious at the moment. "You may ask freely, Guy," he said. "We're all in this together," said Hiruzen. "What do you want to know?" Kurenai asks. "Do you think that it's possible that young Naruto-kun was working together with Mizuki to steal the Forbidden Scroll of Sealing? And do you think it's possible that he has a secret tutor or mentor and has learned more than just the Shadow Clone Jutsu variant from the Forbidden Scroll?" Guy asked curiously, posing questions that were really scary to know, and valid as well, especially coming from him. Based on the footage that we saw regarding that day on the Crystal Ball, I cannot see how he learned more than just the Shadow Clone Jutsu. We saw him practice technique for 2 hours. We also saw him read the information on it as well, and the variants are very similar to it. But he never extended the scrolls, nor did he make copy of it, so it's highly improbable, Kurenai said. As far as working with Mizuki is concerned, Naruto killed him, so there's no further information we can get from him. However, it is highly possible that he has a hidden mentor or private tutor, but he will not reveal the identity of said person. His explanation that he spied on a Jonin on the training ground and learned the Earth-style double decapitation technique from Spine is quite ridiculous and unbelievable, Kurenai said. "Do you think it's Danzo, the one tutoring Naruto in private?" Kakashi spoke up curiously. "Unlikely. He does not fit the profile of any of Danzo's associates. Danzo is an extremist and Konoha loyal. However, Naruto seemed to be only loyal to himself and those close to him. Danzo does everything that he does for the sake of Konoha and his obsession with the Hokage seat. Naruto, while in the past, who seemed to have an obsession with the seat, seemingly does everything now for the fun of it, or just because he can. He also does not display any of the characteristics of a root agent," Kurenai finished. "If he only does things that benefit him, or for those that are close to him, do you think he will become loyal to Konoha if those people close to him were loyal to Konoha as well?" Hiruzen asks. "Possibly, but it will have to be more than 2 people. At least 3. 1 or 2 might not be enough. Perhaps 4 then," Hiruzen said, as he turned his gaze towards Kakashi. Everyone knew what he was implying, as Kakashi was in charge of the 3-man cell. However, they need another plus him. "I'll do my best." He was willing to give up his belt so that Sakura and Sasuke can graduate. and he hated the fact that I posed them against one another. There might be some hope still. I will send a message to Jiraiya and ask him to return. Maybe he can be the help somehow that we need, both as a spy master and as a person that was close to his parents, and being the fourth person. I also expect you and your Genin's team to be making effort as well, Gaikon, Osama, Kurenai-chan. Hiruzen said. That should not be a problem, but also, it might be a good idea to let him sign the Toad contract, so he could not defect even if he wanted to, Osama said. That's a good idea, but it's up to Jiraiya. I cannot force him or the Toads to accept Naruto, Hiruzen said. What about Kakashi's dog contract then? He says that he has sense that could rival the Inuzuka's, right? Wouldn't dog summons be appealing to him? I can't do that, Kakashi said. I don't want to appear to have favoritism towards Naruto. Know that he has shown that he's a cut above the rest. It could screw up team dynamics really badly. I'm already anticipating a tough time with that already. Kakashi-kun is right. The situation with Sasuke-kun and Naruto-kun being on the same team is volatile enough. We do not need to make it worse. Just remember to keep a close eye on those two, and do your best to let them open up and bond with their peers. I'll call you all in from time to time so that we can share information and decide if extra precaution is needed or not. Until then, you're all dismissed. Time skip. 1 month later. It had been over a month since he had garnered a serious reputation for defeating the Copy Ninja, though many people believe that it was a fluke or a freak incident. That was only a one-in-a-lifetime thing that can never happen again. After all, it was incredibly hard to believe that the dead last idiotic prankster could be able to do such a feat, especially his Genin compatriots. They did not believe it in the slightest, as many of them still remember the beating that they gave him at the academy when they used to spar. However, there has been whispering amongst the populace that he had collaborated with the beast inside of him, or perhaps the demon has taken over him. Other than that, not much has happened since then, except for Naruto being pissed off with Kabuto for not telling him how ridiculous D-rank missions were. If he did not owe Kabuto so much for all he has done for him, Naruto did not know if he could control himself from stopping his hands from tightening around his throat and squeezing the life out of him. Speaking of the spectral team, Naruto was quite disappointed that Kabuto was not able to broker the deal that he wanted from the Snake Sanin in exchange for his services regarding the improvement of the Cursed Seal and the Edo Tensei, as the Sanin believed that the mere act of allowing Naruto to help him was payment enough, and Naruto would get access to 2 of the Sanin prize jutsus in exchange for helping him. However, what Naruto wanted was the DNA material that was used for the Curse Mark, or Senju Tobirama Corpse, and also Senju Hoshirama Corpse as well. It was a lot to ask for, of course, but Naruto was hopeful. His request for Senju Hoshirama Corpse and live body of the guy that he now knew name was Jugo was swiftly rejected. Orochimaru would not part with Jugo dead or alive, and he would also not part with Senju Hoshirama Corpse. However, Kabuto was able to broker a deal where Naruto will get the corpse of Senju Tobirama and Senju Toka in exchange for his services, and also a sample of Jugo DNA that he would need to help improvement of the Curse Mark. The improvements were going quite well. He was already done making improvements to the Edo Tensei, and almost done with the Curse Mark as well. Orochimaru was pleased with the work done in the Edo Tensei, and was nagging Naruto to make the improvements on the Curse Mark as well. Though it was hard to tell the Sanin moods, seeing that they had not met face to face, they only connected through Kabuto and the Snake Sanin summons at times. In any case, it seems like Orochimaru would have to wait for a while for his Curse Mark approval, seeing that Sasuke has just rudely expressed his refusal to do another D-rank missions, ordering the Hokage to give him something that would not be a waste of time. Sakura was shocked by the outburst, but you could not really call it an outburst because he did not yell, but his tone did have a bit of irritation in it, as Naruto was relieved that Sasuke was the one to blow up. God knows that he cannot do it. After all, everything that he does recently is being highly watched. Maybe if he blew his nose, they would think that it was a sign, some kind of code, as he found it rather hilarious. Though in hindsight, I guess blowing my nose would be some kind of signal for something. After all, I've never been sick before, or have I received a flu? Naruto thought to himself, rather amused. Sasuke, show some respect to the Hokage. It's quite alright, Kakashi-kun. Truthfully speaking, if not today, then certainly in the week, I was already considering to give them a higher rank mission. Naruto-kun's Shadow Clone technique, while convenient, has made the issue of a D-rank mission quite pointless. Hiruzen says he pulled out a brown folder, with letters C on the outside. Hokage-sama, are you sure that is not a bit too hasty? Aruka said, greatly concerned. Not at all, they're ready for the mission. The D-rank missions are too easy to fulfill their purpose because of Naruto-kun's ability to multiply himself with clones. Perhaps a more difficult mission would be suited to improve their teamwork. Hiruzen explained. I see, Aruka said. But I still don't think that you're ready, he muttered under his breath. It's not your decision to make anymore, Aruka. They're no longer academy students. They're shinobis of the Hidden Leaf. Kakashi said harshly, causing Aruka to swallow a lump as he shrunk back in his seat, realized that he just slightly overextended his reach. As Hiruzen called him the client, who was a brazen old drunk, who started to insult all of them, that being Kakashi and his students, as he did not believe that Kakashi looked like an elite ninja, and that these bunch of kids would be guarding him. Nevertheless, Kakashi warned him not to judge a book by its cover, though the old man who introduced himself as Tazuna did not seem convinced. Kakashi ordered his students to pack for a long-term mission, and meet him at the gate in 45 minutes. With that, Hiruzen and Kakashi left the hall. As they proceed toward the safety of his office, what did you want to talk about, Hokage-sama? Kakashi asked, once they were safely inside. It's been a month now. I would like a progress report on all things regarding Sasuke-kun and Naruto-kun too, of course. Especially Naruto-kun, Hiruzen said, as he sat in his chair, his hands locked together as he looked towards the copy ninja to hear what he had to say on the matter. Kakashi sighed as he heard that question. Nothing new as far as Sasuke is concerned. He still harbored no respect or consideration for Sakura. In fact, he attempted to stay away from her as much as possible and tried to make minimum contact where contact is required. Teamwork drills have been going well, but only on a professional level. Naruto has somewhat instilled a strict, professional attitude within the team by calling on the reputation of the two others as the Kunoichi and the Rookie of the Year. He did this by pointing out that the higher-ups, the other genins, and every other shinobi of higher rank will be watching them from now on, and therefore anything below the highest standard and anything show of weakness would be a mockery to their status. Kakashi trailed off with another heavy sigh. Hiruzen quirked an eyebrow. And this is bad because, he asks, with a small frown. Under normal circumstances, this would not be a bad thing, but given who we're dealing with, to be exact, Naruto and Sasuke, too much professionalism is not necessarily a good thing. It might hinder their already subpar skills and create distance between them as a pair, and they might not form any bonds with anyone in the village at this rate. Kakashi said, I see. I suppose it also does not help that Naruto-kun insists to use the Shadow Clones to complete missions on his own. Still, one would think that Sasuke would be opposed to allowing the so-called Deadlands to do his work for him. Hiruzen said, well, Naruto has been playing on their ego. It was very easy of him to convince the both of them that the Kunoichi and the Rookie of the Year does not need to do missions that are below them, which are simply mundane chores that civilians could complete on their own. He also convinced Sakura that she could spend more time with Sasuke if she allowed him to complete the D-rank missions. Kakashi said with another heavy sigh, as he was now regretting the idea of even taking on a genuine team. This was not something that he needed in his life. Though, on the flip side, how would he face Obito and his sensei if he did not try? So, in other words, you have allowed Naruto-kun to completely take over your genuine team. Is that what you're saying, Kakashi? Hiruzen asks, as Kakashi hangs his head down in shame at the Hokage's brutal assessment. It is not easy to exert your authority on someone like Naruto who is well versed on the shinobi curriculum like Naruto. I tried to get them to work as a team to complete the D-rank missions. I even tried to ban the Shadow Clone technique in such missions, but his arguments were all valid on the reason of using the clones. Unbreakable arguments. Such as, Hiruzen asks, the banning of certain techniques on missions is illegal, even if the superior officer said so, unless said technique endanger the individual or their teammates. There is also the rule that all shinobi should use the quickest way to complete their mission. These two laws completely overrule any attempt I tried to make them work together as a team on D-rank missions. Kakashi replied in a defeated tone, as Hiruzen eyes softened a bit as he realized the challenge that was on Kakashi's shoulders. How could he even judge Kakashi when one of his students was a traitor to the village? Not only a traitor but an international criminal. And the other one had practically disowned Konoha, and by law she should be hunted. But he did not have the heart to do that. Kakashi, what do you think Naruto's agenda is? Hiruzen asks. Divide and conquer. He's systematically taking control away from me and molding the team in a way that he sees fit. I am not sure what his endgame is, but this is what is happening right now, Kakashi replied. Perhaps you should have a rematch with him after you return from the Wave Country. Your loss to him might be playing a big part in this current team dynamic. First impressions are a very important thing. Yours was not a very good one. You need to rectify that, Hiruzen said. I have already tried. He refused to engage. He forfeit as soon as the fight begins, and when I order him to fight seriously, he hides behind hundreds of shadow clones. Shadow clones that use their efforts to distract me and keep me busy. It's almost impossible to track down the real one. Once I destroyed all of his clones, I once found out that the real one had not even shown up for a team meeting that day, Kakashi said with a shake of his head. So he's deliberately avoiding a rematch to hide the true level of his own power and skills, or perhaps to keep the stigma of his win over your head, Hiruzen said. As Hiruzen realized this is too much for Kakashi to handle. Where the hell is Jiraiya when you need him, Hiruzen thought. With a frustrated sigh, he thought he made it clear in the message that he should return, that there was a crisis involving his godson. So where the hell was he? It shouldn't have taken more than 6 days for him to get back here. Yet, it had been a month now. What could be so important that he could not get back here any sooner? As Kakashi interrupted his thoughts, answering, I think it's most likely both, Hokage-sama, he said. Hiruzen sighed, he shut his eyes and took in a deep breath. Minato-kun, he thought. Is this all my fault? Don't beat yourself up, Kakashi-kun, he said, as he opened his eyes. We will get to the bottom of this, no matter what it takes. We will reconvene at the completion of this C-rank mission if nothing has changed. Your team will then have to start to take B, or maybe even S-rank missions. We need to find out how much skills Naruto-kun is hiding away from us. Kakashi was shocked to hear how far the Hokage was willing to go to get the truth. However, given Naruto heritage and Jinchuriki status, Kakashi could not even blame the man. Yes, Hokage-sama, Kakashi said. I may have to step up Sakura and Sasuke training if we're gonna get B and A rank missions. Especially Sakura, Kakashi thought to himself. As a question popped up in his head, Hokage-sama, has there been any development between Kurenai-san and Naruto? Kakashi asks. As Kakashi remembered that Kurenai had a better chance to get intel on Naruto than he actually did. Not only due to her incredible profile skills, but the fact that Naruto has a crush on her and wants to get tutored by her in the art of Genjutsu. No, there has not. Kurenai-chan has refused Naruto-kun's requests to be tutored by her in Genjutsu. She believed that now is a crucial time for her to build and create foundations between her and her genuine team, and taking on an apprentice outside of that will disrupt the relationship she's trying to build with her team, especially if the apprentice is another member of their class. There is also the fact that Naruto has already told everyone that he's a better fit for Kurenai's team than Kiba-kun. If Kiba were to find out that Kurenai was given private lessons to Naruto-kun, Hiruzen trailed off, not finishing his sentence, as Kakashi was able to put 2 and 2 together on his own. If Hiruzen had to be honest, he was kind of glad that Kurenai refused to teach Naruto in the art of Genjutsu. Is asking to be on her team to be taught by her in Genjutsu show how much confidence he had in his other skills, especially ones that Kakashi excelled in, that being Taijutsu and Ninjutsu. If Genjutsu was his only weakness, then the last thing Hiruzen wanted was for him to eradicate that weakness, at least until he can confirm that Naruto is a friend or foe. And right now he had no idea whatsoever. The best case scenario was Naruto was loyal and just someone very private who liked to hold on to his secrets and tolerable. The worst case was he was an ex-Danzo, or the more far worst case was he was an ex-Orochimaru. Hiruzen prayed, deeply, desperately prayed, that he was just a private person. That is what he needed at this moment, not another one of those two, especially Orochimaru. I see, Kakashi said, and I assumed that Asuma would not be pleased about her dating Naruto, even for a little while. Kakashi inquired, even though he already knew the answer to that question. That goes without saying, Hiruzen said, as he sighed. Honestly, he was getting too old for this shit. If things had went perfectly, the hat would have gone to either Tsunade, Orochimaru, or Jiraiya. But none of them wanted the seat. And Orochimaru was someone that could not have it now because of the choices that he made. As Hiruzen sighed. Time skip. 1 week later, Wave Island. Sakura, Sasuke, Naruto. There is no hope for me now. There is no way you three can possibly defeat him. Take Tazuna and run. Now! His water clones will dispel. It won't allow him to go too far from the main body. As long as you get out of the range, which he cannot leave with his hand in this water prison, he cannot catch up with you guys. Go! Kakashi yelled as he was trapped in a water prison. Sakura and Sasuke look frightened right now. However, Naruto looked calm. Extremely so. In fact, he looked like he wasn't even in between an immense battle. He looked like he was just relaxing on a nice cloudy day, watching the clouds pass by, which was very unusual given the opponent was Zabuza Momokai. Zabuza laughed. Your sensei is right. You three should run with your tails between your legs. After all, you're not even real ninjas. You're just a bunch of brats believing that you can handle this world when you cannot. By the time I was your age, I have already taken hundreds of lives. You three don't even seem to be out of your diapers yet, Zabuza taunted. As Sakura and Sasuke were shocked. He already killed hundreds of people by the time he was my age. That's he. Just like that. As Sasuke couldn't believe what he was hearing, no understanding better why the man was named the Demon of the Mist. And I have not even taken a life yet. What have I been doing this entire time? Sasuke thought as he clenched his fist in anger. He's right. I'm no ninja. All I've been doing is playing ninja this entire time. Itachi was already an Anbu by my age, and Zabuza killed over 100 people. What have I done? Sasuke thought to himself in a bit of depression that started to overwhelm him. Hey, Zabuza-san. Zabuza's eye turned towards a small blonde. How much will I get if I return your corpse back to Kiri? I mean, obviously, you're not gonna live past this day if you're gonna fight the great Naruto Uzumaki, the strongest and smartest ninja in the elemental nation. Zabuza looked toward this blonde. He must be crazy. Naruto thought to himself. I would have preferred to run away and let Kakashi die. Then I can switch with my shadow clone and go after Zabuza and his accomplice that is hiding at the moment. However, what if Kakashi survives somehow and report my actions to the Hokage? After all, this could easily be a trap that is set for me. After all, why wouldn't he try to use his lightning blade to escape the prison? Lightning, after all, is stronger against water. Despite the state he's in, there are several ways that he can get out. It seems you're a very stupid kid. Either way, I give you some credit for not shaking like a coward, like your two teammates are at the moment, Zabuza said. But then again, Naruto thought, every way I put it, he would definitely get hurt by his own lightning, with him submerged in the water. But the damage will not be too extensive for him to be completely out of the fight. But given the fact that Zabuza is shown to be incredibly strong, and not to mention have all information on Kakashi, maybe he's planning on him to use his lightning to get out, and injuring himself in the process, and Zabuza will take advantage of that if he does try. I'm not sure, Naruto thought to himself. As Naruto shrugged to himself, he will help out. After all, he still had to be in Konoha until Orochimaru planned invasion. Don't be stupid, Naruto. You've been acting like the team leader since his team was formed. Make the right call for your team. Get everyone out of here and protect them with everything you have, Kakashi yelled frantically. Nonsense! The one that shouted was Sasuke. Said Uchiha, who almost killed himself a moment ago because of the bloodlust, was angry. Sasuke-kan? Sakura said, shaking. It doesn't matter if you run or not. He'll just track us down after he's finished with you. The only way that we can survive here is if we get you out of that stupid prison. Sasuke said with finality. Nice thinking, Sasuke. And here I thought that you were an overhyped moron. And yet, it seems like you do have a brain in there. You're one to talk dope, Sasuke retorted. Sakura was confused. How were they reacting so normally when she was afraid, almost on the verge of wetting her pants? Okay, said Naruto. So what's your plan? As Naruto hoped he didn't have to go through with his plan, because that would involve releasing one of his other secrets. Sasuke face faulted though as he looked towards Uzumaki. I assumed that you had a plan, considering how much of a big game that you were talking. So that means you don't have a plan, Naruto said. Dope, Sasuke said with a frown, doing everything to stop himself from strangling his blonde teammate. Okay then, step back. All three of you, said Naruto. Don't be stupid, you idiot, Naruto. You can't order Sasuke-kun like that. And what makes you believe you can defeat that monster on your own? Even Kakashi-sensei could not. Sakura said, Oh, you mean the same Kakashi I hospitalized the day after our graduation, said Naruto. Zabuza narrowed his eyes, hearing that. As the blonde didn't look like he was lying. There was something about this blonde though. Something different than the other ones. As he watched him carefully, everyone know that was just a fluke. Sakura stuttered out. Fine. Get in the way. And you'll just die, said Naruto. Remember, I did warn you. Naruto, she said. This is not the— Shut up, Sakura. Sasuke yelled at her. Just do what he says. As he pulled Tazuna away. Sakura was shocked as Sasuke yelled at her and taking orders from Naruto. She couldn't understand. She was too afraid what Sasuke would think of her if she did not listen. So she simply made her way back. Naruto sighed. He's gonna be pissed at me for this. But I guess I don't have much choice. Unless I— No. That would be too much to give away. This is much shorter and sweeter. As Naruto bit his finger, before he flashed through hand sign. Summoning Jutsu! Poof! A massive cloud filled the entire area, as the smoke slowly started to disperse. It's been a long time, Miri and Dano, said Naruto. As a strange, humanoid monster was slowly being shown out of the smoke, as Naruto looked towards the beast that was standing there. The others, shocked by that. But guys, we end subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the what ifs on other channels, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But for now, I'm out. See you guys soon. Peace.